and thank you for tuning in to Davis Media Access. You're watching in the studio. I'm your host, Lynn Weaver. The program broadcasts on Davis Community Television, that's Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T UVerse Menu 99. We're also online at dctv.davismedia.org. Joining us today is Yolo County Chief Deputy District Attorney Jonathan
Raven,
and one of the graduates from the Citizens Academy, Cyrus Soltani, to talk about the Citizens Academy, one of the many initiatives sponsored by the Yolo County District Court. So welcome both, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And first I'm going to start by congratulating Jonathan for your Prosecutor of the Year award. It's a statewide award, and I have a picture here that shows you. Yes, it's there, and I enjoyed looking at this picture, especially the trophy or that comes with it. You know, it's very pretty. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I don't know if I should call it a trophy, but something like that. What does it say,
well,
if you remember?
Yes, this is an award from MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Oh, yes.
And they have an annual statewide conference with hundreds and hundreds of police officers that they give some awards to for their work in terms of fighting DUIs.
Yes.
And so I was the first recipient of the Prosecutor of the Year award by MAD, and so basically that crystal trophy, so to speak, sort of mentions that. It was quite an honor, and it's something that we take very seriously in Yolo County. You know, just getting behind the wheel after too many drinks and being impaired. Obviously, as we know, people die every day, and it happens here in Yolo County and even in Davis.
It's devastating, yes.
It's really
and
devastating.
The work of MAD is famous around the country, if not around the world. So, and it's an organization that's been in full force for many, many years. So, congratulations. I'm very happy that you were able to join, Cyrus. And so, let's start from the very beginning. I'm going to ask Jonathan, so what is the Citizens Academy? Can you give us a synopsis of what it is?
So the Citizens Academy, Lynn, is an 8-week course. It's 2.5 hours a week. We hold the course on Thursdays. The goal of the Citizens Academy is to gather our citizens within the county. It's a vast county, as you know, spreading
Yes.
from West Sacramento to Davis to Woodland and to up at Cache Creek, and it's very diverse. And what we found is that most people think of the district attorney as what they see on TV, Law and Order, or other police shows.
Yes.
And they don't really understand the intricacies of what's involved, the challenges we face, the challenges our local police officers and sheriffs and CHP officers face every day. And we thought if we could get everyone together and educate them in a sort of discussion-like manner, together, mutual understanding with our diverse backgrounds, and also hear from them. You know, what are they interested in? What do they see in terms of the police officer in Davis or in Woodland or in West Sac or a sheriff's deputy that stops them on the road, and what are they seeing? And we cover a broad range of topics over that period, and I think this is our 3rd year, which will be starting in April. It's been very successful.
Well, that's wonderful. And of course, if you want more information, you can go to the yoloda.org website and find out about enrollment. Who is eligible to take part, to enroll, rather?
Citizens of Yolo County.
Yes.
And you have to be 18 years of age or older, so an adult.
Yes. And is this a free course?
It is free.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, it's even better than free.
Oh,
The first class and the last class, we serve pizza.
I was going to say. Oh, that's wonderful.
And bottled water.
Yes. Well, you mentioned a little bit the why of the Citizens Academy. Is this, well, you have explained that you want to teach what, you know, what you're doing and so on. But this is a combined or a team partnership with other departments. Isn't that true?
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Lynn, because our co-sponsors
Yes.
are all the police agencies in the county. I hope I'm going to name them all.
Yeah.
Davis
I'll
Police
help you.
Department, Davis, Woodland,
Yes.
Winters. We have the Sheriff's Office, the
Mm-hmm.
CHP, the Probation Department, and did I miss any there?
UC Davis. Police
UC Davis, of course.
Yes.
They're very important
And
to
the
us.
FBI?
The FBI, we stick with local and
Yes.
state in the county. So we have CHP in the county.
So it's not a statewide, it's a county-wide.
It's a county-wide, but
Yes.
CHP obviously works within the county, so
That's
they're
right.
a part of it. Let's see if I missed anything. I have a little list here, and I think I covered everything. So those agencies are involved. The first day, the citizens get to meet all the chiefs and the sheriff and the commander of the CHP, and they talk a little bit about their agencies and how they actually police their cities or the county area. And it's interesting because it's very different for Woodland, as you can imagine, compared to Davis, compared to the county area. And West Sacramento, of course, right on the border of Sacramento, is also very unique.
And we're going to go into that in more detail. But now I wanted to turn to Cyrus, and you are a graduate, a proud graduate.
Proud graduate of the last class.
Top of the class.
Really? That's wonderful. Congratulations. And I wanted to ask you, what did you like about the course? What stood in your mind? What remains in your mind that was really very interesting to you?
Before we go there, I just want to thank you, the Office of District Attorney's Office and District Attorney Mr. Jeffrey and Jonathan for giving me that opportunity to join
Yes.
the class
Yes.
and learn a lot. And also thank you for Davis Police Department who recommended me to that class, you know, because I'm a volunteer Davis Police Department.
Volunteer?
Yes.
I see.
And I'm doing that for almost 2 years with the Davis PD. And
we're going to ask you about what you do there.
Okay.
But about the course, was it intimidating at first, or what did you enjoy the most?
Everything, because you know I'm an immigrant citizen. You know, I was 35 years old when I came here, and basically I didn't know anything about the law, and my information or knowledge of law in this country was what people are telling me.
Yes. You were
And
10 years old, did you say?
No, 35.
Oh, 35.
No, 35 years old. No,
Okay.
no,
My goodness, your English is perfect.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So you of course didn't go to school here.
No,
so.
I didn't go to school. I went to school in Germany. So when I came here, law is something that, as Jonathan said, is you can see on the TV shows.
Yes.
And then sometimes I was frustrated. You know, said, how come the law and order can solve the problem in about 45 minutes, and one homicide takes about 3, 4, 5 years.
Yes.
And it's always a question mark in my mind. But after going through the class and find out, that is not that easy. It's going through this steps by steps, discussion, commitment to different protocol, and then back and forth between the district attorney's office and the attorney, and it's lots of hidden stuff that the public doesn't know about it. So I was really, when I was done with the class, I was a different person. I just like no, I know why it's taking 3 years or 4 years to take a
So it
yeah.
was really enlightening for you.
It was very, very,
Yes.
like, yeah, no.
Did you do some hands-on work,
Uh,
like some forensic, or well, maybe we'll go into the syllabus a little more later on. But
you know, it was a lot of practice. You know, they show us, for example, when I remember one of the most interesting class that we have there was the victim crime unit, which I didn't know that something like that exists. That is an office in the district attorney's office that help people, you know, with nothing, asking for nothing in return. So that is, you know, is all knowledge. You know, I don't have to go there and use my hand do something, but you know, it's a lot of knowledge.
and then, of course, after the course, you were so enthusiastic that you decided to join the police department?
No, I was with the police
Oh,
department.
you were
when I
for the
joined
police
class.
department.
I was very
yes.
enthusiastic to join the district attorney's office, you know, and I went half through it. That's a different story.
That's a different story, okay. Can you tell us a little more about the teachers? Who are the teachers who teach the class? And then afterwards, I'd like you to tell me why is this not open to teenagers? Because that's an important thing, and you can tell me about that. But who are the teachers? Are you teaching?
I am a teacher,
Good.
so I probably teach 2 or 3 of the classes or parts of the classes. So one of the things I teach is one of the early classes, I talk about the makeup of the DA's office, because I think a lot of people think that what we do is we sit back and we take the cases from the police departments and we prosecute, which is our primary purpose.
Yes.
However, we do so much more like this, and a lot of outreach and programs and all sorts of different things in the schools. So we talk about the different departments, the roles of the departments, and that's one class. I also teach one of the classes with a lieutenant and an assistant chief from 2 of the departments in the county on racial profiling, which maybe we can talk about a little later in more detail.
Yes.
And then, you know, so we have, for instance, our program manager for victim services, and that's what Cyrus was referring to, the day on victim services, where we also have 2 or 3 victims of serious rapes or homicides or domestic violence come in and share their stories with the class. We have a class on...
That must be very intense.
Very intense and very emotional.
Yes.
I think one of the best classes, as Cyrus said.
Yes.
This year we're going to have a class devoted to the sheriff's office and how the jail works. So we'll have one of the commanders from the jail, and we'll also have a tour of the jail. That'll be interesting, partially because most people don't get to see that firsthand.
Yes.
And really,
only in the movies, as you said.
Yeah.
Yes, and there's blown to
exactly
ad infinitum. Yes,
exactly.
by
and we have
Hollywood.
a number of other supervisors and assistant chiefs from our office. We have, as I said, all the chiefs and the sheriff at a class, and we have our gang team. So we have one day, which is one of the best days also, because it's very much a show and tell about gangs, and showing photos and all the clothing and everything, and telling you the details and how someone is determined to be a gang member. So we have the sergeant from the gang task force there, and just really a plethora of the experts that are the people that have boots on the ground within our community and law enforcement that come and take an evening or more during the spring and come and talk to the citizens about what they do and entertain any and all questions. And we get this past year was a very lively bunch. We had a number of, particularly our hometown, some of our Davis citizens.
Yes.
They asked.
I can imagine.
Yes, they asked some tough questions.
Oh, yes.
And especially during the racial profiling, as you can imagine. So that was very, very interesting.
Can you, from the top of your head, remember 1 or 2 of these questions, or not really?
Well, so on the racial profiling, we actually, it's very hands-on, and we run through how one determines whether someone is, a police officer is making a stop
Yes.
based on protected class. Often it's
Yes.
race, it could be anything else.
Yes.
And so, some of the questions we get, because police officers are allowed to stop someone. So if they see something and they feel and have a very good feeling based on evidence that, let's just say, someone in a car is a burglar, okay?
Yes.
They can stop that car for other reasons, like traffic violations.
Yes.
So basically, a police officer, if you're driving, Lynn, you can't go more than a few blocks without committing some sort of traffic violation. It's very difficult. So if
Me, never.
yes. And so if they want to stop you, they
Yes.
can.
Yes.
And some in the class felt that was really seemed to be unfair.
Yes.
But the U.S.
Yes.
Supreme Court says that in a case called Wren, says that's okay. And,
Yes.
and so that was a very, for being proactive, for proactive policing.
Yes.
And so we had some very challenging questions, and I have to say, I taught this class with the Lieutenant Derek Cass from Woodland Police Department, and our very own Assistant Chief Darren Pytel. He fielded the questions very well, and talked about how the escalation of situations when there is a racial profiling situation, because it's not uncommon that people of color, because of their history, the moment a police officer stops them, they may say, believing it or maybe not, "You stopped me because I'm black."
Yes.
And what does the officer do at that point? It can escalate from that point,
Yes.
or the best officers, and hopefully we have some of them here in Davis, we do actually, de-escalate it, and that's the key.
Well, that's the key, and I think that I'm very happy that you talk about the de-escalating, because it seems to me, well, first of all, people get very tense when they see a police officer or someone from the law, and I think if they become tense, they become aggressive sometimes. And for example, I was very interested in one of the laws in California that I think Jerry Brown signed a law that prohibits police officers to show their guns when they are in a crowd, for example. And I thought that was a very good thing because it de-escalates. People see a gun and they might respond with another gun. But I also wanted to, there are very controversial themes, like, for example, you said racial profiling, and but also things like, do you get questions about realignment, for example? A lot of people are very upset about realignment. Do you tackle those topics as well? Or?
We tackle everything. Come one, come all, and there are lots of excellent, very challenging questions, and realignment is one area. For those of you that are watching that don't know what realignment, that was a law that was passed
I was going to ask you, yes.
3 years ago.
Yes.
And basically the idea was, because of our overcrowding in our state prison systems,
Yes.
that we would send some of the lower level offenders to serve their time in the county jails. So they're serving their prison sentences in what we call county prison.
Yes.
And this has caused... It's helped out on the state level in the prisons, bringing
Yes.
down the number of state inmates.
Yes.
But by the same token, it's really impacted our jails, like here in Yolo, because now we have a different type of criminal that's a more serious criminal that normally would have been in state prison.
Yes.
And we've actually seen an uptick in crime, more property than violent, and there's a lot of questions about, is it because of realignment? There's definitely a relationship.
Yes.
In terms of when it occurred. The question that's unanswered is it because of realignment? So that's something that, as you said, Lynn, it's something people feel very passionate about.
Yes.
Why are we taking all these inmates?
Yes.
But then the other side is, the idea is we in Yolo County are getting the money
Yes.
to do a better job
Yes.
of rehabilitating them. So when they leave our jails, they can become productive citizens. And that's something that we've been working on for now 2 and 3 years, and we have a long way to go, but I think we're making some progress here in the county.
Well, that's good to know. We've digressed a little bit, I'm afraid, but that was very interesting. Two things that I wanted to go back about to the fact that you have to be 18 or more. Is that just a organizational sort of a logistic things because you don't want to have a lot of people signing up, or is it because some of the topics are perhaps a little too grown up?
I think the latter. So it's graphic. I mean, for instance, unfortunately in our office, just to digress for a moment, we have many volunteers, volunteer program. We don't allow minors because it's just what goes on is graphic. It's very heated. There's guns in the office, because we have our police officers that are investigators. And in this class, there's a lot of topics about, whether it's gangs or
rape.
A victim talking about rape. That's exactly what I was going to say, Lynn.
Yeah.
And they're more adult topics, basically.
I see. That's good. And the other thing is that I wanted to ask you. I know I noticed you brought, I think, a syllabus or the flyer.
So I brought. This is actually a brochure.
A brochure.
Which I brought.
Yes.
And it discusses, the vision and the mission and some of the things you can expect, and also kind of goes through the syllabus.
Oh, I see. So the syllabus, I was reading it and this afternoon, and it's really the range is very wide. I mean, you've got everything there, but of course it's 8 weeks, so that's very good. There are a couple of, as you said, we said at the beginning of our interview, there are terms that we use without really knowing what they mean, and one of them being criminal justice system. So we don't, it's an abstract concept. Can you, and I'm putting you on the spot, can you tell us what the criminal justice system consists of?
So the criminal justice system is a very dynamic, ever-changing system involving many different functions of government.
Yes.
And, you have initially the suspect or offender or defendant that has committed or allegedly committed the crime. And obviously they have numerous rights, as they should, because, you're possibly taking away their freedom. That's what's at stake. So they have an attorney, whether it's a private attorney or a public defender. You have the prosecuting agency, and in our county, it's the district attorney, Jeff Reisig. You also have the court, the judicial branch. So we are part of the executive branch.
Yes.
And then you have the judicial branch, which are our judges. And we have about 12 judges in the county. And then you have the police agencies, and they're where it all starts, and they're the ones that make the arrest, and they investigate the case and write a report and pass it on to our office to decide whether we feel a crime has been committed. So that's where you would have the local police agencies, the sheriff, which oversees the county, CHP is state, but they have an office in our county, and then you also have the probation department. The probation department is the agency that monitors the convicted defendants, but also they also assist in writing reports and assisting the judge in what the sentence should be.
Well, you've done a fantastic job in explaining this. You pass.
I'll have to tell my boss.
Cyrus, I still would like to know what you love the most about the course. I'm sure something.
It was a great learning experience for me. I think it's a great learning experience for everybody.
Yes. Did you make friends with the other students?
It was a very compact class. It is not time to make friends, but the point was, and the time was very, very limited.
Yes.
But we met few people there, but it was not. It was a friendship. It was because the class is serious. It's not a fun class. It's a serious,
It's a very serious
class.
class. I can
if you miss,
imagine.
I try to not to miss any second of those class, because if you really miss about a little bit, then you are really missing the whole thing. It's a very serious, very, very, very focused class.
A very focused class. Is there anything you did not like?
No, everything I like. No, I can't. For me, was, as I said, for me, as a newcomer in this country, not a newcomer after 35 years, but the point is, a new to this system.
Yes, and you're not alone.
It was not.
You're not alone. A lot of American-born citizens don't know very much about the
going
system.
back to your question to Jonathan regarding the youngster.
Yes.
I was always thinking that as a great that we can censor some of this section of this program and then apply it in the high school. That kids at least go through.
Yes, and I'm sure there are people thinking about this already,
great.
adapting this to the high school, and they probably get some instruction now more than we did. I grew up in Europe, so it's a different story.
Because
but
if you can save one life, or you can save one person from not using drug,
yes,
you did your job.
Yes. Well, we're almost out of time, which is credible. But very quickly, Jason, since you've done such a good job in explaining what the criminal justice is, what is the community or citizens policing? Can you explain that term? I picked it up somewhere.
I think you mean, well, I think what you mean is community policing.
Yes.
A type of policing.
It's a type of policing.
So what's
not citizen, community policing.
So
yes.
what's interesting is each of the chiefs has a chance both at the first class and at the last class to address the class and entertain questions. And they talk about how they police in their city. Mm-hmm. And so, they talk about the broken window approach.
Yes.
With Chief Bratton is famous for that. And if you can fix, the broken windows, start at the bottom, then you can help reduce the crime. So I think Davis, for instance, they have a certain style of policing.
Yes.
And so they, a lot of it is now very much statistical, mm-hmm. and they want to see where are the areas that are hotbeds for crime. Mm-hmm. So they don't want to lose resources in the areas where they don't need
I'm afraid
as much.
We need to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Chief Deputy District Attorney Jonathan Raven, I remembered your name now, and Citizens Academy graduate Cyrus Soltani. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you all for watching. If you'd like to see this program again, you can go to our website at dctv.davismedia.org, and while you're there, you may want to check some of our other programs. You can stream them, and you can also download them from YouTube. Thank you for watching. You've been watching in the studio from all of us here at Davis Media Access. Goodbye.